Florida Family Policy Council has a new name. Find out more today on Florida Focus. Hey, I'm Noah Fay, and joining me today is Aaron DiPietro. Aaron, how are you doing?
Doing great. We just finished our 20th annual dinner gala with Tucker Carlson, and it was a whirlwind of a day. But
that's why our eyes are droopy,
yes,
I think.
Yes.
So Tucker Carlson was the featured speaker here. We did quite a few different things.
Yeah.
So let's just start at the beginning. Tucker came in a little early,
and then we'll get to the big announcement.
Yes. So Tucker came in a little early.
Yeah.
We got to sit down, do a quick interview with him.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be on the channel at some point here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He addressed VIP.
Yep.
He did a photo with a bunch of people.
Yep.
He did a photo line. He was standing and smiling.
Yeah.
I think for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming his
very personable and relatable to individuals. So
super
really neat,
super down to
with
earth
people.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing was that he could keep smiling after smiling for an hour and a half. I mean, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Then we moved into kind of like the main ballroom, and we had a few different speakers before Tucker.
So Alicia Ferrant, who's an Orange County School Board member, she was our MC. She did a great job, across the board. Just a mom of 5 that is now, been thrust in the political spotlight to be able to stand up for, children and families. She gave some victories that have been achieved on the Orange County School Board. It was really encouraging. We also got to hear from Attorney General Ashley Moody. She was able to address us about some of the victories on the statewide level, so that was awesome there. And then we got to hear from Tucker Carlson, and he gave his keynote. And then Craig DeRoche, the president of the Family Policy Alliance, which is our national trade association for all the family policy councils across the nation. He was able to interview Tucker there for a few minutes, and then we had the big reveal at the end. All of our team members and board members came up, and Florida Family Policy Council announced that we are now officially Florida Family Voice.
Yeah.
So we're extremely excited about that. We talked about some of the long-term vision plans for the organization too. Like, let's maybe dive into a little bit of those as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty cool. Each person. So first we had a couple of our board members got up and
did a great job.
Cast a few things there. But then I believe it went you, Kevin, and then Chris.
Yep.
And so you shared a lot about what you had planned.
Talking about, in terms of the organization, the social media and digital outreach through both the platforms like the Florida Focus podcast that we're doing now, and additional social media platform outreach to reach the next generation for truth. That was really the big emphasis, is fighting for truth, advancing a biblical worldview, educating. Because again, we talked about in this thing, if we just continue to do politics, and that is the only thing we do, we're going to lose the war. In the long term, because you can win a battle here or there on a bill or an election, but when you change and impact a person's mind and soul with a worldview change, that changes history. That is a radical transformation of history. And so that's our huge focus, is biblical worldview education for both the younger generations and the older generations through both digital platforms. We talked about the desire to do additional conferences, both virtual and in person across the state, equipping people from young and old alike to defend their faith, to understand a biblical worldview, and how to apply it to real life. We talked about the expansion of our legislative team in Tallahassee to be able to influence, the process even better. We've had so many amazing victories, but there's so much great work that still can be done there. Not just winning political battles, but also just being an encouragement and support to our supporters and allies across the state, and our allied legislators too, just to provide them resources and encouragement and support. And then finally, I was able to talk about the Florida Family Alliance, which is going to be a county-by-county coalition that's going to have networks of individuals that are focused on the local level. So Florida Family Voice is focused on the state level, but our coalition, the Florida Family Alliance Coalition, is going to be focused on the county level, city council, school board issues, dealing with biblical worldview education on the local level, engaging the church, local churches, and Pastor Kevin talked about that a little bit as well, talking about expanding the church ambassador network and just the outreach and the ministry successes that we've had through that program. So already just expanding that program, not only in Tallahassee additionally, but across the entire state of Florida. So it was some great views. And then Chris came up and just shared some encouraging words, and then rolled out the Florida Family Voice logo and name. And it was exciting, I think.
Yeah, Chris is the development director.
He's the director, yep.
Yeah. And so,
what do you think the feeling was in the room? Like, I was really encouraged. I mean,
I think a lot of people didn't know everything that we do.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love our board member who got up, and he really gave a really good speech about,
great.
hey,
George Trigos,
you don't know what we do, and here's what we do. If you care about this, then you support us.
This is what we do,
And so he really laid a solid foundation for all of us to build upon.
Yeah.
With Chris, capping off and then doing the big reveal.
And I love the team video. Like we were able to have a personal touch this year too by having a video, 15-minute kind of a team report, and we got to hear from Abby, our office administrator, and we got to hear from Pastor Kevin and Tracy, who lead the Church Ambassador Network and the Florida Capital Project. And we got to hear from Chris, the development director, and from Maria, our special events coordinator and youth scholarship director. You and I got to share as well. And it was just really encouraging. I think gave a personal side to what we really do here at Florida Family Voice. So
I agree, and I think Tucker crushed the keynote. He crushed the Q&A. We took a few audience questions and had them prepared ahead of time.
Yeah,
it was really cool. Tucker didn't want to see the questions. He wanted to know. He just went off the cuff the entire time, and he did an awesome job.
Yeah,
I
really talking about the importance of the work that we're doing here, because really, I think it's summer like. A lot of the politicians, like Washington's broken.
Yeah.
Like it's really the work that we're doing here, not just in terms of the political work on the state level, but the biblical worldview education that's changing hearts and minds and souls. That's really where the change and transformation can occur. And I think you kind of touched on that.
And one thing you're talking about how we're fighting for the truth. Tucker, I think he just kept bringing it back to just tell the truth.
Just tell the truth. Yeah.
You know abortion is wrong. Tell the truth.
Yeah. Castrating kids is wrong.
Yeah. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
And so I really think that and we might have paid him, but we didn't pay him to say any of this without any preparation in terms of, we didn't tell him what to say or how to say it. He just honed in on everything and he just spoke his mind, and I think the crowd loved it.
Yeah, and I think that's really the message that Florida Family Voice is going to be moving forward with, just advancing and defending the truth. And like you said in the team video, it's not your truth, it's not my truth, it's the truth. And that's really the bottom line is our society, when I shared like the phrase, and I didn't come up with it myself. It was several other ministers that have used it. When we reject or discard the design of the Creator in exchange for the desires of the created, chaos is going to ensue. Like cultural decline is inevitable, and because I use the phrase like. Because the truth himself, because Christ is the truth. He's the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. He is the personification of truth. And when we reject him, we are rejecting the person of truth. And there's no foundation that we can be able to build a solid society on. And so that's why I was so grateful. And I'm excited about the future of Florida Family Voice and what we can be able to do here at Florida Focus. And, just all and it's just it was such an encouragement and a blessing just to be able to showcase the amazing team we have and the board of directors, just the unity and the heart behind the mission that, again, we're not just a nonprofit organization. Like, we are a family. We're a ministry that is seeking to impact our culture for good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, as we're wrapping up here, so Florida Family Voice, and so Florida Focus is, a part of that. And so Florida Focus is going to be adding to the podcast platforms here soon. So you'll have audio only, along with on YouTube, you'll have the audio and video.
Yeah.
So the best way to stay up to date is on our emails, on our social media. We'll be posting a lot more short form content there as well. But if you really want to stay up to date when we start publishing these on a podcast format, that is the best way to do it. And
you can sign up at www.floridafamilyvoice.org.
Hey,
so
I'm glad you said it. I didn't know that was the new, the new website.
Florida Family Voice. It's all new. It's gonna, it's gonna be new. We're gonna be rolling out some stuff over the next few months. But we started the change, and we're gonna see it through.
Awesome.
Florida Family Voice is now official.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless everybody. Talk to you soon.